everybody, welcome back to our YouTube channel. This video is about our pet sitting gig in Hilo, Hawaii. We took care of 3 dogs and 5 cats. This is dog number 1. This is Hoku. He was a big sweetheart. Calvin loved this dog. This is dog number 2. Her name is Blossom. She was a very shy dog, so she hid underneath the kitchen table for most of the first week that we were there. This is dog number 3. His name is Winston, and he's an older dog, so he was already going blind and was bumping into all the furniture to try to find food. This is number 1 of 5 cats. Her name is Miracle, and she was the sweetest cat. She used to always come for walks with us when we walked the dogs. I loved her. This is cat number 2. Her name is Mighty. She is blind, so she had a very hard time finding the food. We'd always used to have to bring the food to her face. This is cat number 3. Her name is Sapphire. She's an outdoor cat, so we didn't really get to see her very often. She just kind of come in and out of the house whenever she wanted to eat. This is cat number 4. His name is Joey, and he's the biggest of all 5 cats. Very loving though, and very talkative. And this is cat number 5. His name is Sebastian and was very wary of us, as you can tell by the look on his face. He didn't come too close. Sebastian had a very odd way of drinking water. He would stick his paw into the water source and then bring it to his mouth. You can see here, he wouldn't lick it out of the bowl. He would just put his paw in and then lick his paw. Very interesting way of drinking water. Time to walk the dogs. And of course, Miracle had to come along. She was the best cat. She used to always come out and walk with us. Anytime she saw us grabbing the leashes, she would sit by the door and would kind of indicate that, oh, I want to come for a walk too. Let's go. So cute.
You coming? You stay? You stay?
Let's go.
Oh, bed and breakfast. Howdy time.
Good girl.
Up there, climb the fence. What's her name?
Miracle.
Miracle.
Oh my God, this is so cute. The cat loved the dog, but the dog was like, can you get this cat out of my face? They're friends, but you know, the dog seemed a bit annoyed by the cat. The dogs got a lot of care and attention from us, especially Cal. He misses having a dog. They got lots of love. And Calvin was always brushing the dogs. Brushing them in front of the ocean here. Brushing them in front of this ocean here.
Blossom, are you a little bit spoiled? Huh? Yeah, a little bit.
To say that this house was located in the perfect spot is an understatement. Look at this view. The proximity of this house to the ocean was amazing. was a path probably about 3 houses down from where we were pet sitting that led to this view.
Come take a picture here, man.
The lady that we were pet sitting for on the day that we arrived took us around the island. This is the devastation from their local volcano, Mauna Loa, that erupted back in 2018. We couldn't stay there too long because of how hot all the ground was still, and she was worried that the tires would melt. This is all the devastation. She would say that communities were all leveled by the volcano and all the ash. So this used to be a community, no longer. We encountered this guy on the road when we were driving back and forth from the different communities. He had a little bit of an attitude.
I'm gonna pull over and see if I can. I'm gonna picture my phone. I'll put it on Facebook. It's got a collar on him, so he belongs to somebody. He's gonna get hit out here.
Bye,
Oh,
buddy.
yeah. Come here, I dare you.
Bye, buddy.
Hi.
See you later.
Hi, you look pretty cute, but you got a little bit of attitude. Okay.
While we were dumping off some trash at the local sanitation center, I found this cat colony. Looks like they're well taken care of. Whenever you see waterfalls of Hawaii, apparently this is the waterfall that they feature. So we had to go visit. Up close view, distant view. And this is the little mini waterfall. Went to go visit Coconut Island. Coconut Island is an island within an island. It was very peaceful, very quiet, not a lot of people, as you can see. This is the Mackenzie recreational area. As you can see by all the signs, they wanted us to stay away from the edge. But the views were so amazing that we had to kind of take a closer look. Our next stop was the Isaac Hale Beach Park. There was nobody around. It was basically us, a lifeguard, and maybe another couple walking around, but the beach was basically empty. This was all during COVID, so it makes sense that there was nobody around. They had hot springs that Calvin wanted to check out, so he rolled up his pants and decided to step on in. Too bad we didn't bring our bathing suits. We would have been able to kind of sit in the hot springs and just enjoy. Can honestly say this is my first black sand beach. After visiting all the parks and beaches, we decided to come back home and have some shaved ice. This place was apparently the best. So we ordered one with papaya, ice cream, and I believe there was like condensed milk as well. It was really good. We also had a poke bowl. It came with 2 sides. This was really good too. And then we stopped off at this kitchen called Two Ladies Kitchen and had their homemade mochi. I had one that was filled with brownie, which was interesting. This was my last night in Hawaii, and look how beautiful the sunset was. I can't believe that clouds can look like that. They never look like that in Canada. Unfortunately, when I got to my flight, I didn't get my PCR test back in time, so I missed my flight. There goes the plane. Hi, it's story time by the pool. Cal's just sitting here, enjoying the pool. So I'll just continue my story here. So I missed my flight. I actually went back home first. Cal was gonna stay for another week. He took me to the airport and I flew from Hilo to Honolulu. And in Honolulu, I was supposed to produce my PCR test to get onto my flight back to Vancouver. Of course, it didn't come back in time. The website said that I should have had my test back in 1 or 2 days. It didn't show up. So what I had to do was I actually had to get a PCR test done at the Honolulu airport. It was $140 US. They said it could take anywhere from 3 to 6 hours. So obviously I missed my flight, but there was another Air Canada flight that I could have caught at 11:30. It was a red eye. And I only had so much time to get back the result from either my first test or the test done at the airport. I was sitting there chatting with Cal, trying to decide, okay, am I going to go to a hotel? Should I hang out at the airport and maybe, hide behind one of the desks and sleep there if I had to sleep there overnight? But then I was told by one of Cal's friends that you can't actually stay in the airport if you don't have a ticket. I didn't have a ticket because I didn't know when I was going to get my PCR test back. So freaking out a little bit. I was just constantly checking my emails just to see if either one of those tests came back. I was constantly texting Cal and he was like wondering what I was going to do. Should I go to a hotel? Should I stay at the airport? Anyways, the PCR test did come back from the airport. The one that I took earlier didn't come back until like the next day. So they were like 3 days to get my test back. Once I got the PCR test, I ran to Air Canada's ticket desk to see if I could get on that 11:30 flight. Ran there and I tried to get the ticket through our air miles. I had enough air miles to buy a ticket on that flight. But for some reason, the website just kept on coming up, error, error, error. And I would go back in and try to put it in again. It still came back as an error. I tried to get the ticket lady to try to put the ticket through on her end. But because it was 11:30 at night, all the offices were closed, there was nothing she could do. I had to pay the full fare to get onto that flight, which was fine. I mean, it would have been nice for us to use the air miles to pay for it, but I just wanted to get home at that time. I paid for the ticket. I even asked, can you bump me up to maybe, business class? Is there any room? Yeah, she just looked at me and was like, yeah, good luck. I don't think so. Long story short, I got onto the flight and made it home. So Cal thinks that my story was a little too long, so this is his version of the story, okay? All right, you tell the story. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mary left Hawaii. She didn't get her PCR test back. She had to wait for the next flight. They couldn't help her, so therefore she had to pay for a flight. Therefore, she got home a little bit late. Ciao.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.